Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to change your training dates. So this can be done in two ways. So I'm going to briefly show you both ways. So for one, it can be actually edited, or you can get to the edit page, I should say, from the front end of your website. So let's say you're viewing your website. As you can see, there's a top bar here that shows that you're actually logged in, and you can edit pages and things like that through the front end. So you'd simply go to training, hover over that, and select the one that you want to edit. So let's say you want to edit your group volume training. You would just click on that, and then you can hover up here to edit product and click on that, and it will actually open up the back-end editor, which is where you would edit all the options. Now the other way is through your dashboard. So normally when you log in, this is where you land. So you'd simply scroll down until you see products, which is right underneath WooCommerce, and click on that. Once that opens up, you're able to see all of the products here. So you can click on, or you can hover over the one you want to edit and simply click on edit. So let's do the group classic training. So we're going to click on edit. And we're going to wait for that to open up. And we'll see what the current options are right now. So I'm just going to open up this page in another tab so that we can see what our options are set up as right now. So if we go to the drop down menu, as you can see, we have two options here. We have March 15th to 16th and July 24th to 25th. If we click on it, it says we have 6 in stock, and we have test, which is a little I guess description of this particular product, which I'll show you how to change or remove if you want to use that feature. And for this option, we have 5 in stock. So now I'll show you how to make all those changes or edit those things. So we'll close this one out, and we are editing this one. So group classic training. So the first thing I want to mention is that these are set up as variable products. That's how you get the drop down with the different options. And we do have enable stock management at product level selected here, and that allows us to manage the stock for each option. So you see how it says 5 there, it says 6 there, so you can actually control how many people can register for your course online before it shows that it's out of stock. All right, so to edit the options now, you want to click on attributes. And as you see here, it says select class, which it also says here, select class. And then if you expand this by clicking on it, you'll see the options are right here for you to view. So this is where you would add or remove whatever options or whatever classes you want to add and remove. If you want to add a class, you simply do a space, you create a line, and then you do another space, and then you can go ahead and add in another date. So let's put Ajax October 22nd to 23rd, and then we'll click on save attribute. All right, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and change these as well. So let's say Toronto, March 23rd, or it's 25th and 26th, I think is what you told me. So we'll change this 25th and space and 26th. Is that right? Yep. So that is the class we're going to add. And let's click on save. And then once that's done, I'll show you what happens on the front end. So if we refresh the front end, what you'll see is it only shows one, Toronto, July 24th to 25th. And the reason it's only showing that one is because that's the only one that has not been changed. So once we've done this step, we're not done. We actually have to go to variations and actually select the variations from here. So there's a drop down here. It will enable you to select the different variations. So we have Toronto, July. Let's select this one as Ajax, the 22nd to 23rd. And we're going to remove this one. This is extra. We don't need that one. So we'll remove it. And wait until it says OK. Good. So now we only have 3. Let's say you did need to add another one. Like, let's say you wanted to have, I don't know, let's say 4 attributes instead of 3. You would actually need to add another attribute, or sorry, variation. So you just click on add variation, go, and then it will give you another box here for you to select the 4th one. But we don't have a 4th one, so we don't need to do that. So you simply want to remove that one. And so we're left with only 3 because we only have 3 options to select from. Now that we've done that, we want to go ahead and expand each one and make sure the settings are good for each one. So earlier I showed you that there was one of the options had something that said test, 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 and that was in the description section. So this is where you would actually make that change. So we're just going to go ahead and remove that now that you know where you can actually make those changes. So let's say, for instance, you want to, I don't know, put an address of where the location is. You can do that in here. You can put pretty much whatever you want in here. So that's that option. Let's say we want to change the stock quantity to 8, and you know the price we're going to leave for that at 300. You want to make sure that these are selected every single time. So it says enabled here. It says virtual here. This is important because you are not selling a tangible product that needs to be shipped out. So selecting virtual actually removes the shipping option because you're not shipping a product. So that's important to do once you're doing a service instead of a product that is tangible. You also want to click on manage stock. This is where you get the option to manage the quantity that is able to register for the class. So, you know, if let's say, for instance, you have somebody call in and register over the phone, and then you take the deposit via e-transfer or cash or whatever, you can actually log into your website and just manage the stock through here and reduce it from, you know, 8 to 7, and then save it, and you can update it manually. But you know, whatever number is there, that's how many people will be able to register through the website. So if you are taking, you know, registrations outside of the website, you want to make sure that you just go ahead and also make the changes on the website so that it reflects that, so you're not overbooking the class. So as you can see, we've made that change. So now it says 7 in stock. All right, so 7 in stock, the date's there. The location is there, so that worked. And let's just make sure that the other variations are good. So we have enabled, virtual, manage stock, 300, quantity 8. And this one we have enabled, virtual, and manage stock, 300, quantity 5. So if you are adding a new variation, these settings won't automatically be there. You need to add them yourself. So that's why I wanted to just go through them, because they're very important. You need to make sure it says enabled, it needs to say virtual, it needs to say manage stock, and you need to put the price, and you need to put the quantity. And if you would like to, you can also add a description. But that is pretty much it. All you got to do is update it, and it will show up on the front end the way it is supposed to show up. And you just want to check it to make sure that everything is good to go. So let's say, for instance, the Ajax class is full and you want to, I don't know, remove it now, or you don't want people to register for it yet or something. You just simply put a 0 and save the changes. And we're going to click on update. And then we're going to refresh it. And once we've refreshed it, Ajax should now say out of stock. So let's see. Ajax out of stock. Perfect. So that is how you do that. So again, just to recap, if you want to add or remove anything, you go to attributes, select class. You can add it from here if you want to remove something. So we're going to remove the Ajax one now. We're going to save it. because we don't need two. Save it, and then we go to variations and remove the one that we no longer need. So we're going to remove this one. And then we just update it. And click update. And then once we refresh it, you'll only see the two options instead of all three. So that pretty much covers how you add, remove, change your class dates. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, in case you needed to do this as well, is if you want to change any of this, so the 1500 duration, even if you want to change something down here, I will show you how to do that as well. This is a little bit trickier, so you can change everything up to here basically. So all of this can be changed because this is stuff that I put in there through the product description. So we're going to go to the back end again. If you scroll down, it says product short description. This is where all of that stuff is. So these are all the codes and the text that is there. So if you want to make any changes to this section, first things first, you want to make sure that you save all of this just in case something goes wrong. Like if you do so much as, a period in between one of these things, it won't show up correctly on the front end of your website. So you want to make sure, just in case, that you select all of this and you copy it and you save it somewhere. Okay, for safekeeping, just in case you mess something up, at least you have a backup of it and you can just, copy and paste this back on there and start over with your changes on a fresh, playing field. So you want to make sure you save that. Next, you want to go to wherever you need to change something. So things you might want to change, let's say you want to change the price. So let's say you don't want your class to be 1500 anymore. You want it to be, 1600. So as you can see, the price is right here. Okay, so again, you don't want to touch any of the code whatsoever. You literally only want to touch the price. If you remove any of these brackets, something will go wrong. So you just want to change the number. So we'll change that to 1600. And let's say the duration now has changed to 3. So we'll change the duration to 3 days. You can change any of this text if you want. There's no code there. But now these are the drop down sections, these ones right here. So included in kit and course outline. If you need to change any of these or add anything to this, this is where it would be done right here. So, you can add something or you can remove something. So as you can see, if you wanted to just add something, it kind of makes it look weird. Did you see how that happened? It didn't make a bullet point there. So what I would recommend, if you want to add something, instead of just, making a space and trying to type anything in there, what I'd recommend you do is I would recommend you copy one of them. So copy, and then I would paste it like so. And then I would type in the new option. So let's say test, and then we'll save it, update, and we'll see how that looks. And refresh it. So let's see, where did we make that change? There we go. So as you can see, that new option that we put in there is right here. So it says test right there. So that worked. We're good to go. Let's see. What else? Now, if we wanted to change, and another thing. So if we wanted to change the deposit, you'd scroll down, and as you can see here, the deposit amount says 300. Let's say you wanted to make it 500. Again, don't touch anything except for the number. We just want to put a 5 there. You can change this text if you want, add to it if you want. You can add things beneath it if you want. It's entirely up to you. So yeah, those are the only things I want to change. I'm going to actually delete this. We don't need that in there. Oops. Yeah, so we're just going to delete that. And if we change the prices there, we would also want to change the prices in the attributes. So like if you do change your prices, remember that you need to change the prices for the variations as well. So since we changed the deposit amount to $500, you want to change the price from $300 to $500 here as well, so that it reflects the change in the shopping cart once people check out. Otherwise, it will still show $300 because this is where the actual price comes from when you go to checkout. It comes from this section here. So whatever price is set up here is what will be in the checkout. All right, so let's go ahead and update that, and then we'll view our changes and see how they look on the front end. So we'll expand that. We removed the test, so you no longer see it there, which is good. We changed it from 1500 to 1600. We changed it to 3 days, and we also changed the price to $500. And then we also went ahead and changed all the variations to $500 as well. So now when people add this to their cart and go to view cart, or click on that to go to cart, you'll see that it says $500 here, whereas before it would have said $300. Now once people proceed to checkout, they are brought to this page where they can go ahead and fill in their information, which I filled out some dummy information for the sake of this video, and it shows the subtotal, and then they click on proceed to PayPal. And then it brings them here, so they can actually securely make their payments online through PayPal. If they have a PayPal account, they can do it through there. If they do not, they can pay with a credit card or a Visa card or a Visa debit card. And then as you can see, the price is reflected up here, so it says $500 Canadian. And if they expand this, it tells them what they are purchasing from you, and it also shows, you know, all of their information, so they can go ahead and put their credit card information and pay. If they've made a mistake on the class that they want to do, or, you know, they can always click on cancel and return to the website, and it'll bring them back to the cart page, and it says your order was canceled. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and change back all the options to how they were initially, but feel free to send me an email at info@designerboss.com, or you can comment under this video if you do have any questions. But that pretty much sums it up. Thanks for watching.